The knock that never came. My name is Marianne. I am 74 years old, living alone in a small apartment in Ontario, Canada. People say the winters here are harsh, but they do not know that the coldest place is the heart of a mother whose child has forgotten her. Snow melts. Seasons change. But the loneliness inside me remains frozen, unmoving, year after year. I had one daughter, my precious Oliva. She was the only reason I walked through life with courage. The day she was born, the hospital room smelled of medicine and snow, yet everything felt warm. I held her tiny body, wrapped in a soft blanket, and she clutched my finger with her fragile hand. That grip sealed my fate. I promised myself I would protect her until my last breath. Life was never kind to me. My husband died when she was just 5 years old. I was suddenly a widow, a mother, and the only provider. I worked in a bakery during the day and cleaned offices at night. My back used to burn with pain, my feet swelled, and sometimes I cried quietly in the bathroom so my daughter would not hear. But when I came home, she would run to me with open arms, laughing, calling, "Mama, you're home." And in that moment, every sacrifice felt like a small price to pay. I loved her too much. That is something I learned too late. Whenever she asked for something, I gave it. Whenever she cried, I rushed to her. I denied her nothing. People warned me, don't spoil her. Children become careless when you give everything. But I couldn't help it. She was the only person I had in this world. I didn't want her to feel the emptiness I had felt all my life. But sometimes love, when given without boundaries, becomes a rope that ties you to heartbreak. As she grew older, her sweetness faded, little by little. She became distant, irritable, cold, like she was pulling away from me inch by inch. When she turned 15, she no longer waited for me by the window. Instead, she locked herself in her room, listening to music, chatting with friends, ignoring me completely. Whenever I tried to talk to her, she rolled her eyes, sighed, or walked away. And I, foolish in love, kept trying to win her back. One day, she yelled at me in front of her friends because I spoke with a thick accent. "Mom, stop talking. You embarrass me." Her words stabbed me, but I swallowed the pain. I told myself, teenagers say hurtful things. She doesn't mean it. But a small crack formed inside my heart that day, a crack that would widen with time. By the time she reached university, she hardly spoke to me. I would cook her favorite dishes, leave food by her door, and wait for some reaction, anything. She never said thank you. I was invisible in my own home. Still, I loved her. Still, I believed that the warmth in her would return. But life has a way of teaching lessons when you least expect them. When she was 22, she told me she was moving out. I remember the moment vividly, the way my hands trembled as I helped her pack her clothes, the way her eyes held no attachment, no guilt, no affection. It felt like packing the memories of my life into boxes and sending them away. I asked softly, "Do you really need to go?" She replied, irritated, "Mom, I want my own life. You're too much sometimes. Too much." A mother who washed dishes until her fingers cracked. Too much. A mother who saved every penny to buy her books. Too much. A mother who stayed awake on nights when she was sick, praying she would recover. But I did not say anything. Mothers rarely speak their pain. We swallow it, because our children mean more to us than we mean to ourselves. She left with 2 suitcases and not a single hug. That night, the house felt unbearably silent. I sat in her empty room, touching the bed she once slept on, and I cried until my eyes burned. The loneliness began that day, and it never truly ended. At first, she called once a week. Then once a month. Then only when she needed money. I never denied her anything, even then. I told myself, a mother gives. It is her nature. But every time the phone rang, hope bloomed inside me. And every time she hung up quickly, without asking how I was, that hope wilted. Years passed like that. Birthdays came and went, she never visited. Winters passed with their biting winds, she never knocked at my door. Sometimes, my neighbors would ask, "Don't you have a daughter?" And I would smile faintly and say, "Yes, she is busy." But the truth was, she wasn't busy. She was simply not thinking about me. Loneliness became my only companion. One December evening, I gathered the courage to call her. The phone rang many times before she answered. I said, "Oliva, it's been a long time. How are you?" Her tone was sharp. "Mom, I'm out with friends. I can't talk now." I whispered, "I just wanted to hear your voice." She sighed loudly, annoyed. "Mom, don't be clingy. I told you, I'm busy." The line went silent, and then she hung up. That moment felt like someone had closed a door in my chest. But the worst came later. One snowy morning, I heard from someone that she had moved to another city without even telling me. No call, no message, nothing. She simply erased me from her life like a name wiped off a board. The next year, when I fell and injured my hip, I lay in bed for hours, unable to move, waiting for anyone to knock on my door. But no one came. I kept hoping she would call. She never did. Hospitals were cold, but a daughter's silence is colder. I survived. But a part of me did not. Now, I wake up every morning to an empty apartment. I make tea for one. I sit by the window, watching people walk with their families, their children holding their arms, their laughter floating in the air. And I wonder what crime I committed by loving my daughter too much. Some nights, I talk to her in my mind. "Oliva, my sweet girl, do you remember when you used to sleep on my chest? Do you remember when I combed your hair every morning before school? Do you remember how you cried when you got hurt, and I held you until your sobs faded?" But the memories answer with silence. Even now, after everything she has done, I love her. That is the curse of motherhood. No matter how far your child goes, no matter how much they hurt you, your heart follows them. My heart is still with her even though I am completely alone. If she is reading this somewhere, I want her to know just one thing. I never wanted anything from you, only your presence. Only your voice. Only a little warmth. But perhaps she will never hear these words. And so I live my days quietly, sipping tea, watching the snow fall on the empty streets of Canada. I am old, but I am not waiting for death. I am waiting for something else, something far more fragile. A knock on the door. A soft voice saying, "Mom, I'm home."